Areze, ọkwanye bụ na eze nọ, chi ọfụma, ụtụtụ ọma, ehihie ọma, uhuruchi ọma. Tata anyị ga-eleba anya what is the purpose of going to school. We have to look into our educational system in Africa. Why our educational system in Africa doesn't work outside the country. Number two topic. Number three, why Africa is always producing professor annually, who's based on theory without a practical. Number four, what did you think that our government will do the best in order to strengthen educational system in Africa? Finally, what we Africa have achieved through Western education. So if you are joining me, please try to share this program. It's very important for the benefit of those who don't understand English language. I'm going to mix it with Igbo language, my dialect. Please, whenever you across this post, try to share it. What is the purpose of you or you send your children to school? Is to acquire knowledge, basic knowledge, which will help them in life. That is the purpose. And secondly, a skill, to learn more skill that are going to help them. If you look around Africa today, Africa is most talented race on West Africa. But because of the way they design Western education, it didn't suit African citizens. You may ask me why. If you send your children to school, when they get there, they keep on reading theory 6 years or 6 terms in school from primary 1 to 6. They reading theory. The same theory they will start reading from the secondary school. Could you imagine? That is where I'm focusing my attention. The best way is to develop your children on the skill acquisition. Empower them with a skill. Let them learn. What we always learn during our own time, they will draw an ant. You doesn't even see. Draw an aeroplane. You doesn't even enter. You draw a car that's not moving. So is it how we can develop our mind? If you look around the world we live today, the world is advancing every day. We are on the digital era. Right now, we are on AI. The Western country, all these Asia countries are developing, making a lot of research that will empower their citizens. Where is African own today? African believe only to read theory, speak grammar. Let me assure you that any country that always speak grammar without practical demonstration of it, believe in that country cannot survive on the digital era. All the African countries always depend on the Western products. Why yet every year we keep on producing professors? Can this going to help Africa? This is the question he left for you to answer. Remember that during secondary school is that's initial stage. All our children should be exposed in tech and in medical aspects to choose their line or what they will be in future. Look, I remember the time government school was one of the best among Africa. The time you can enter inside government school, you see what you want. But today, look all the government school you have in Africa. You see that it cannot be safety for learning because those who go there just always read theory. Government have abandoned their properties. That's why private school overtaking government school today in African country. Having said that, all the governments, both the Commissioner of Education, Minister of Education, should segment day in, day out the activities of the government secondary school or primary school across the globe, even the tertiary institutions, and equip their laboratory science and technical aspect of it. You see that those who choose to lead or lead the science course does not have a laboratory, they can go and make a lot of experiments. Talk less of more of those who are leading technical aspect of it. The government of Africa doesn't help its citizens. I have to say it. If government can help us, it left government to come down to the root of the problem we Africa have. After secondary school, 4 years or 6 or 8 years in tertiary institution is just to capitalize what you learned in the secondary school. That's why in Africa today we can produce a lot of professors. We can have a lot of graduates annually. But if you ask them to come and defend the course they lead, they start grammar, speaking grammar in there without practical. Where can we go from here? That is the question I ask African leaders. It led the African leaders to come together and use one voice to develop Africa. Africa have what it takes in terms of mineral and humanitarian resources to be richer and greater than all these European countries. But because of the way they design African education, that after you might graduate, you cannot even get work in your country. You from here travel to Asia country to go and work. Let me tell you one thing most people don't know. They have designed educational system in Africa the way that it will suitable for Western or European country. Checkmate is that all the medical aspect of it or the best medical doctor they have across the globe is from the Africans. One of the finest or the finishing products, those who discover it is from the African. And the funniest thing that any African man who discover things that behind human understanding and having be that all these European peoples, none of their lineage or their person have done it, they wouldn't allow African to take that glory. And any African man who is well learned and well articulate or who discover many things, the African leaders cannot help such person. Now we are in the digital era where there's many new things are coming on board. How can we help in order to make this expatiate over the world? That's the question he left for you to answer. Then, secondly, how can government help us to improve the educational system in Africa? Number one is that government will equip all the laboratory and technical school we have across African country. And it can be under obligation and mandatory that African citizens can pass through skill to learn many things, handwork, things they will know. Let us forget about theory aspect of it. because we African know more about theory, but practical. That's what we needed. If he said this is a car, teach us how we can produce it, how this car can be like made in Africans. If he said this is an aeroplane, teach African children how they can construct and develop and make this aeroplane come to reality. That is where we are going to, because if we shake from 1970, 80, 90, we are still based on the analog system of government. Now the world is advanced. Every day, day in, day out, new technology is coming. Where is Africa own? Yeah, we say Africa is great. African can be a great. Yet, where is the root of Africa based on? Let us forget about sentiment or religion or ethnic aspect of it. We have to come together to create in one voice in order to achieve this. After our brothers learn everything, haven't graduated from the school without a job, and what people do you think such person can survive in African country? That's why such people get opportunities to travel away from Africa. They cannot return back. So this is an open line conversation. You can join me, tell me what you feel that we can use to develop African country. Those who know more about technique, what they can use to produce something. Let me tell you things you don't know. Believe it or leave it. We have a powerful, mighty, reasonable people in Africa who were talented in terms of what they will discover or produce. But because of the government policy or government system doesn't work well in Africa. That's why you find those people, they left Africa, go to the Asia country to develop their own. So ụmụnne m, kedu ife anyị ga-aba abalị wee baa ya anyị? Ọrụgo oge anyị kwesịrị ịgwa ndị nke anyị eziokwu. Ọrụgo oge anyị nwa ga-eji aka anyị mepụtawa ife ha a na-afụ anya, mepụtawa ihe kwesịrị ekwesị anyị nwa bụ ndị Afrịka nke na-eme gịnị use. Or if they manufacture car in Africa and like it made in Africa or made in Nigeria, made in Senegal, made in Sierra Leone, made in Ghana, made in Australia and all these African countries, Chad, Niger, Benin, and Niger, is it a crime to African citizens? That is what I have to ask now. Now we are commuting from the petrol system. We are entering inside a fuelless car. How can we develop our own? How can we make Africa great again? That is what I have to ask. Before I close this live video, what we Africa have achieved so far through Western education, what we Africa have achieved so far through Western education. This question is left for you to answer me. After we learned, having discovered and made a lot of research, kedu ihe anyị ga-esigodu n'ọnya ka anyị ji aka n'akwụkwọ nke anyị na-agụ? So ọ ga-amasị m, biko, if you cross this video, try to recommend it to your brothers, share it in main social media handles so that they will learn. Remember that our topic say, talk your own. Let me talk my own. So thank you all. Wherever you are watching me, remember that the best is not yet to come. If you are following me on my YouTube page, please don't forget to join me on my Facebook page and my Twitter. Remember that I am still remember Mazi-UC. My African, thank you and remember blessed.